Welcome to Sisters in Song. Can you take a minute and tell us who you are and where you're coming to us from tonight?
Hi, we're Darin and Brooke Aldridge, and we are on the road this weekend. We are in around Branson, Missouri.
Awesome. Are you playing in Branson?
We are. We're playing in Branson tomorrow evening and then up in St. Louis toward the weekend.
Yeah, so we're at Silver Dollar City tomorrow.
Oh, fun.
Fun.
And where is home?
Home for us is around Shelby, North Carolina. We live in a small town called Cherryville and just west of Charlotte, probably 30, 45 minutes.
Very cool.
Awesome. We were just in Nashville, North Carolina for New Year's Eve. So
Awesome. Yeah.
Not far from us at all.
That's 45 more minutes west of where we are.
we loved it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was fun.
So we're going to just dig right in. Tell us how
Okay.
you all got started in this career as songwriting duo and musicians.
Well, I started a little bit younger than Brooke because I'm a little bit older than her. Right after high school, I got an opportunity to travel the world with the famous country bluegrass band called the Country Gentlemen. And I traveled with them until 2004, and Charlie Waller, the lead singer of the band, had passed away. So I floated and did a few things right after that, but met Brooke in late 2005. And we started singing a little bit together and playing, and a couple configurations I was in, we started dating, and I'd bring her along. And the same thing for her when she was in a band at church and some other singings, I would show up. And when we started singing and doing things together, it started turning a lot of heads. And we've been blessed to doing it now close to 20 years.
Wow. Well, congrats.
That's awesome.
We know you have a new album.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, how that came to be.
Well, we have a brand new gospel album called Soul Condition, and it was really just a collection of songs that we've been holding on to for a while. Some that we learned growing up in church, some that our parents would play on the radio quite often, and of course a lot of things that some people wrote for us specifically for this album. So it was just a nice compilation and collection of songs that we were excited to finally get out there.
Yay.
And this is your first gospel album, right?
It is.
Very cool.
Do you have a favorite on the album? I know that's hard to say because they're all like your kids.
Yeah, definitely hard to pick. I would probably go with a song called Bought by the Blood. It's one that I grew up hearing in church, and a group locally used to play that song a lot. So it kind of always was in my head when I was a kid. And so it was pretty cool to get to record this for our own album and bring back a lot of good memories for people around where we're from.
That's cool. What about you, Darin?
That's really hard, to pick one. One that I really enjoy on there was a song called So Much to Thank Him For, which was in my family. My uncle and aunt had recorded that in the 80s, and
Wow.
their band was called the Melody Trio, and it became a great number one and kind of a standard for Southern gospel music. So Brooke and I we'd sang it some in church, but never recorded it, and just thought it was very fitting to do that on this recording and put our stamp on there and a good memory for the Melody Trio as well.
Love it.
that. I do
So I want to know, you guys are on the road. How do you manage your, health and your wellness and both mental and physical when you're traveling so much?
Well, we just eat a big batch of meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans here at the had 2 throat rolls at Lambert's, so not too good this evening. But when we're home, we get to walk and kayak and play golf and other things. But out on the road, it is hard to keep that lifestyle. We still will.
We try to make health conscious choices.
Yeah.
So we're not always eating country cooking, but tonight we decided to do that. So.
Yeah, some of the
That'd
band
be
had never
hard,
been here
though.
before, so we thought we'd show this to them.
As
Yeah.
should. Well, it's got to be hard too to be traveling all the time and be like, how do we make this work?
Right.
It is
So-
for sure.
Well, and as long as you don't eat that all the time, you
Yeah,
gotta
right.
spoil yourself.
That's
moderate,
right. Yeah.
Exactly. And we're playing at a theme park tomorrow, so we'll be doing a
Lots
lot
of
of walking.
Oh,
That's
very
right.
cool.
Now,
Very cool.
You had talked about going to Silver Dollar City. We went there as kids. I barely
Oh.
remember it. So that's exciting. No, for you guys,
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Fun.
hear how that goes.
Yeah, it's a great place to play. We always have good crowds there. So it's a bluegrass and barbecue festival. So what
Oh,
what
cool.
pairs better than bluegrass and barbecue? Darin and
That's
Brooke.
right.
Yes, we actually went to the Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival was in Columbia, Missouri
Yep.
a few years ago, and it was amazing. So I don't think it's the same. I think it was called Roots and Blues.
Yeah.
So I
Rhythm
don't
and
know.
blues. Yeah, we've heard of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they still do it or not, but have fun.
Yes, that sounds amazing. So are you planning, I know summer's coming up. Are you doing touring? What is coming next?
We are. We've got a lot of places we're playing throughout the summer. I know we'll be back up. Like I said, we're going to St. Louis from here, and then we'll be up in Indiana, around Chicago, into New England. We're going back to Nashville in July, and of course in our home state, North Carolina. So we always try to get as far out sometimes as we can across the country into California and Utah. We played out in Arizona earlier in the year. So we try to get here and there when we can.
Very cool. Let's talk about songwriting a little bit. How do you two collaborate together and make a song come to life? What's your process, would you say?
Darin and I have always kind of joked because both of us are good at I guess bringing a melody to a song, or coming up with a song title or something, and then that kind of stems the verses and into the chorus. But Darin's always been, I say he's always been better at creating the melody, and I've been better at creating the lyrics. So
that's a good team.
Yeah, it is. And you just never know when a song's going to hit you. You might be riding down the road and see something on a billboard sign, or hear somebody in their conversation say some kind of little saying, and you're like, hey, there's a song in that. So it's pretty cool how it comes to be sometimes.
And what instruments do you all play?
We play guitar and mandolin, and I play just about everything. I started young age of piano, and of course I've taught music for close to 30 years on banjo and fiddle and mandolins and bass guitar. But in our band, mostly I'll play guitar and mandolin, and so does Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
When you travel, do you travel with a band, or is it just the two of you?
Most of the time, it's with a 5 or 6 piece band.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
cool.
I'll bet it's awesome to hear just the two of you sometimes.
Yeah, we do a lot of that as well.
Yeah, it's good to be able to mix it up. So we like to keep things interesting, and you never know what you're going to get from Darin Brooke. And if you're watching a full-length show, we'll usually showcase the whole band, and then of course we'll do some stuff just as a duo during the set. So it's pretty cool. People love that aspect of it,
Yeah.
I'll bet. So while you're touring, will you be doing all gospel, or are you going to do old songs, new songs?
Yeah, we still do a lot of mix of our, country and bluegrass throughout our live shows, performances. We feature a lot of things on the new gospel album. We usually do 4 or 5 of them off the record about every show.
Very nice. So what would you say your favorite genre is to play of those 3?
That's really hard too. I'd say gospel for me is probably my foundation. But I love, throwing in a hint of bluegrass and a little bit of country here and there. So it all I think it really depends on, how you showcase it and how you play it on your instrument. So,
and that comes out in our music throughout all of our records. Is those 3 things are the strongest. We've been influenced by a lot of different music throughout our careers, but that always comes out as Darin and Brooke type of music. We've been kind of themed and labeled as those 3 genres into one. So it might not be the purest of bluegrass acts or fans might not consider us bluegrass. And same in gospel or country. Well, they're not country, they're too bluegrass, or that kind of thing. So, no, we're not. We're just Darin and Brooke.
That's right.
You do you. That's what's important. You were on the bluegrass channel on XM radio the other day when I was listening. I go,
they've been real good to us over the years.
Yeah, we're grateful for radio playing our music for sure.
I got so excited. I was like, on our couple
That's awesome. You were talking about influences. Do either of you have any specific influences that you would name?
Well, sure. My mom and my grandmother were definitely influences. My sisters and I used to sing in church together. But as far as I guess famous folks, I would have to say Emmylou Harris was a huge influence of mine, and the Isaacs. I always loved their music. So Martina McBride was another one that I loved as a kid. She was one of the first concerts that I attended, and I think Vince Gill too. So there's so many. Ricky Skaggs, the list goes on and on, but that's just a few to name.
How about
Yeah,
you,
and the
Darin?
same for me. You know, that's the good thing about Brooke and I is we loved a lot of the same type of music and folks, you know, that we listened to. Vance and Ricky, of course, was big in my house when I was growing up at a young age. So was Emily Harris, the Isaacs. You know, we all went to see them. We became friends with them at a young age. Of course, Allison Krauss and Union Station for that crossover of country and bluegrass was a big influence on folks my age, you know. So it's just a good mix of material that we pull from.
Very cool.
Yes.
That is wonderful influences.
Yes,
for
I
sure.
agree.
And eclectic too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the road to perform. Let's talk a little bit about performing. How do you prepare for a show? Do you have a certain ritual that you go through before you go on stage?
Usually sound check is very important because we want to make sure we can hear well to start with.
Right.
That can make or break an artist sometimes, just mentally, I think. But of course, Darin gets in his own little mindset and he likes to go off by himself and just kind of warm up on his mandolin or guitar and maybe sing a few notes, just to kind of get his mind prepared, I think. So I'm more of I like to be around everybody right before we go on stage just to kind of ease the nerves. Sometimes I still get nervous from time to time, depending on when we're playing. So, what would you think about yourself? Did I describe that pretty well?
Pretty good. Yeah. We'll warm up with the band backstage, in the dressing room or something, go over a few tunes and just be ready to hit it when time comes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the first time you performed together? Any fun stories about that?
Oh, goodness.
We do. It was at a church.
Yeah.
The first time we met.
Oh, wow.
I had heard about Darin from all of his family because they were from the same town that I grew up in. So I went to school with like his cousins and went to church with his great aunt. And so I always heard about Darin when I was a kid. And then as I got older, just getting to meet him for the first time, he came to this church to play with the band and fill in that I was playing with. And I was like, I knew who he was, but I knew that he also liked me. So somehow the band got separated from me and Darin. So it was just me and him on one of the pews. And then the preacher says, join hands to pray. And I was like, I don't want to hold this guy's hand.
See, I prayed for it for a long time. That was the Lord's intervention right there.
But we ended up holding hands. And I don't know, it was just really special. We also played that night somewhere. And Darin's like, well, do you want me to go to that show and play as well? And I was like, well, you can go if you want to, but because
it's playing hard to get.
Yeah, I had to make sure that you were for real. But we just hit it off as really good friends to start with, and we still credit God for that moment because who knows if we'd have ever met, in person any other way.
Divine intervention. I love it.
Right. Can y'all still hear us okay? Do we need to move?
You're good. We hear you really well.
Yep.
All right. There wasn't nobody out here when we first come out here. Now we're
we can't really hear them at all. I heard them a little bit, but now I can edit it out. That's right. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about influences. Is there an artist that made you say, this is what I want to do?
It was Vince Gill for me, for sure. As I can remember being 12, 13 years old, just barely learning to play the guitar, and saw him on the Opry, and I knew at that moment that's kind of what I wanted to do. I was listening to a lot of country, as I said, growing up in my mom's house. Hee Haw was always on every Saturday, and but my brother had a lot of rock influence in bands, so I listened to a lot of 80s hair music, rock music that I played. And so both genres, and Vince come from all those worlds, so it kind of was a good thing for me, to follow in those footsteps.
Yeah.
And I would have to say the Isaacs, because I got to know their music when they were just kids themselves playing with their family. And, I always thought that was so cool that they got to travel together and, uplift people through their music. And I thought to myself, as much as I love singing in church and stuff, and throughout my community, I got called on for a lot of things. So I thought, I could see myself doing this for a living because I love bringing happiness to people through our music, and kind of taking their mind off of things for a while. So they were definitely a huge influence in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just out of curiosity's sake. You talked about learning the piano when you were young. Can you read music, or are you self-taught?
I can. I learned notation when I was young, 6, 7, 8 years old. and then didn't have that again until I got in the junior high band. And I played, in concert band throughout 7th grade through high school and then on into college a little bit, and which give me a great foundation of learning chart music. And I do a lot of sessions and producing now, so that really give me a heads up on learning treble and bass clef notation, for that, and then configuring those into the Nashville number system.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've heard a lot about that Nashville number system. Is it truly as easy as they say it is to learn?
No.
No. See, I figured people were lying to us.
No, it is. The basics of it is definitely. Yes.
Is it mathematical in nature?
A little bit, but not too bad because I failed in math, so I can read it.
Same.
So we're good.
Terrible at math.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Do you have a favorite venue that you have played at together?
The Grand Ole Opry probably.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask you in the Opry.
Or at the Ryman.
Very cool. Yeah. You can't beat that, right?
No, and it feels like the first time every time. It's such an amazing experience. We never get tired of it and hope that they always call to ask us to come play.
Love it.
Me too.
So should we do our rapid fire questions?
Okay. Do it.
You can either take turns. You can both answer these. They're not hard. Don't worry.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Tea.
Vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming?
CD.
CD. Okay.
First album that you ever bought?
Oh.
Beach Boys.
I'll say Emmylou Harris.
Okay. Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Why Haven't I Heard From You by Reba?
Oh, love that one.
I don't do karaoke.
That's okay.
All right. Do you like to write songs in the morning, the evening, or the afternoon?
Morning. It's when my thoughts are the most collected.
Morning, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Makes sense.
Do you write lyrics on paper, phone notes, or voice memos?
All of the above.
Okay.
Do you have a pre-show pump-up song that you turn on ahead of the show?
We do not. We need one.
Okay. You should have to think on that.
Think on
Yeah.
that. Send you a message. We'll come up with something.
That's right.
Okay.
Dogs.
Oh, now you go.
Now I hear somebody.
We missed you.
Dogs, cats, fish, or birds?
Dog.
Dogs.
Us too.
Okay, describe your sound in 3 words.
Describe our sound in what?
3
3
words.
words.
Love.
Heart and family.
Family. There you go. That'll work.
There you go.
Love it.
Perfect. What advice would you give to new musicians or songwriters?
Just be yourself.
Absolutely.
Be genuine. True to who you are.
Love it.
Perfect.
And now it is time for your shameless plug. Please tell us where we can find your music, your social medias, if you have Bandcamp or Patreon or any of that, and website.
All right. It's Darin and Brooke Aldridge.com. And you can go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those. We're on all that. And see, I said Twitter, and that don't exist anymore. So,
X.
yeah.
But we don't use
It now.
Yeah, we don't have that. Nobody goes to that.
But you can stream all of our music on all the social media, digital platforms. So
Very cool. Well, thank you both so much. I'm so glad we got to talk to you. This is so fun.
Absolutely. It's been fun.
Thanks for pulling over on the side of the road.
Yeah. Have fun tomorrow at the show. And
Yes,
hopefully
thanks
we'll
Thank you so much for having us.